All right, I'm gonna silence my phone.
Sport stuff. Ozzy's
25 minutes.
Favorite topic.
Oh, don't worry. I have a whole plan for Ozzy in this podcast, this sports podcast.
Are you so ready for this?
I think that after a year, the bit is just gonna be we're turning Ozzy into a sports fan. So we're gonna like force Ozzy to watch a whole season of a team, probably football, because that's you only have to watch 17 games.
Right.
He's from San Diego. So my joke was when the Mariners were playing the Padres, like, oh yeah, your team's losing, Ozzy.
Yeah.
Be mad. But I think Ozzy's just gonna be a Chargers fan.
That's disgusting.
I think we're gonna turn
I
on.
will battle you to the death.
And you know what's great about the Chargers?
When they left.
The Chargers are in the Raiders division, which is Brian's team. So it's a whole.
I think
LA
LA would be happy if the Chargers left. I don't really know why they're there either, especially there with the Rams. Like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Not what we're talking about today.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Ready?
Fair enough.
I got an intro all planned.
All right.
Okay.
Intro it up, dude.
Welcome to the house. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have a script for this. I had it in my head.
You said you had a whole intro.
Okay. I'm thinking.
This needs to go on bloopers YouTube shorts.
Okay. I got it.
Welcome to the house at my house.
Welcome to the house. To the house, man.
Yeah.
Welcome to the house, a production. Okay, I got this. Welcome to the house, a production of the My House Podcast Network here in the My House recording studio, beautiful Wasilla, Alaska. If you need homeless or at-risk youth drop-in center services, you can take it to My House here at 300 North Willow Street in downtown Wasilla. I'm Isaac Smolden, and I'm joined by Brian Fields.
What up?
Brian.
Hello.
We've been talking about this for a long time.
Long time.
And sometimes the best way to start something is just to start it.
Right.
So that's what we're doing here today with To the House.
Yeah.
Which is no plan.
Just winging it.
We're just going to go.
That's the way we do things at my house.
That is the My House way.
Yes.
And you know what? 12 years, baby. 12 years of homeless and at-risk services that's been nationally recognized as being an industry leader.
Yes, sir.
We are looking to do, when we talked with our youth and our youth board, we got told that we want to have a little more fun. We want to do things that are fun. So Brian and I are big sports guys. We got a lot of big sports guys around the office. Ozzy, huge sports guy.
Huge. Huge.
We'll turn him into one. So you and I have been talking about doing a sports podcast for a while, which is something that I think is really cool. I think local sports are really cool. I think national sports are really cool. I think sports bring us together, even when they take us apart.
Right, and I think for me, like, it's huge because you can see when you, like, I need an outlet to talk about sports because I love sports, absolutely love them. And you can see when you lose a room, when you start going too in-depth into sports because they're like, oh, you're a fan.
Right.
And I'm just like a casual. And so I'm super excited to be able to.
I think the long and the short is we talk about sports for 30 minutes at work anyway. So we might as well do it in an outlet where we can at least grow our audience on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to do.
Absolutely.
And I think for episode 1, it's kind of like I think we're starting this at a perfect time because right now is the slow season for sports, but starting here in September, it's going to get really busy. So this is August 1st, 2024, and it's a great time to introduce ourselves and jump into the format before things pick up because right now it's just baseball going on. Right. So there's other stuff.
Training camp is in full swing.
Okay.
Hall of Fame game where they just go at it. Hardcore, just full on football is back game that nobody watches is happening.
I did not watch it.
Yeah, I don't think.
And we want to talk about all 4 professional North American sports. We will, I'm sure, slip in some, like the Olympics are going on right now. Right. So there's others, that National Lacrosse League. I don't know, cricket, soccer, mostly the 4 North American sports. So we were thinking in this first episode here of To the House, we could maybe just introduce ourselves through talking about what our favorite sports teams are. And let's start with the sport that both you and I watch.
Yes, sir.
And what team you are a fan of and why.
The Raiders. It is a it is a painful relationship for sure, to say the least. So I got introduced to the Raiders as a child, and my older brother, was a huge Raiders fan, and like the rest of the family kind of just molded into that. And what happened is he went to a Seahawks Raider game, and the Raiders were good, and they smashed the Seahawks. And so from that day forward, he was like, and also I went to a Raiders game a couple of years ago where they didn't smash him.
We don't need to talk
but it was
about
like
that game
82 yards, walk-off touchdown, Josh Jacobs. You're the truth.
One of the worst Mondays of work in my life. Not gonna lie.
Dude, I lost my voice. It was amazing. It was amazing. And so he became a Raider fan. And so what really sucks though is, so like I became a Raider fan like late 90s, where they were still like decent, and early 2000s. So I was
just in time for them to suck.
Yeah. So I was a fan when they went to their last Super Bowl, which was in like 2002 or 2003, and have miserably watched them.
Tuck Rule, shout out.
No, I hate you so much, dude. That destroyed. Anyways. Yeah, so I've miserably watched them just do the quarterback. I was telling my wife yesterday, she was like asking me.
Your new wife, congratulations.
My new wife, yeah.
Good.
She
well, you didn't have an old wife, but you are newly married.
Newlywed,
as
yes.
of this past week.
Yeah, but she was like, why do they like suck so bad? Because in her vow, she vowed to allow me to watch football every Sunday, which is amazing.
Man, it's a keeper.
Right? And I traced it all the way back to the Jamarcus Russell draft.
Oh my gosh.
Where we traded the farm for probably the biggest bust in NFL history.
I think that's a whole episode right there. So we don't need to get into it on the introductions. My football team, like the majority of the teams that I watch from Seattle, the Seattle Seahawks. I am a Seahawks fan because my dad's whole side of the family from Seattle. When I was a kid, we traveled pretty much every year down there, watch a Mariners game. Never got to see a Seahawks game. I think maybe we went when I was really, really young too, like not old enough to remember.
They didn't want to traumatize you as a child, probably.
No. The Seahawks were very bad when I was a kid. And then by the time I got into high school, kind of in those formative years of, I think, when you really attach to a sports team, Seahawks were unbelievably good. Obviously, won one Super Bowl. We don't talk about the second one. And then the last couple of years have been more frustrating, obviously. This is the first time since I was like a little kid, when I was probably too young to really understand what was happening in sports, that the Seahawks have been like a non-contender.
Yeah. Well, I think the frustrating too is like the pieces are there.
Right.
You know,
and again, the Seahawks are a whole, I feel like, are a whole episode, but a frustrating team right now.
Yeah.
At the very least, unlike another team I'm about to get into, they've won something that I remember watching. Right. An absolute pantsing of Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos on the national stage.
How old was Peyton Manning in that Super Bowl?
Very old. He did not have the defense that he had when they won a championship, because I think Seattle scored like 43 points. I have gone to my first Seattle Seahawks game that I'm old enough to remember last year when we went to the NHL Winter Classic that was at T-Mobile Park. The day before, they were playing the Steelers. There was a lot of Steelers fans there. It was still really fun. It was unfortunate that they lost. It was
because they suck.
Very unfortunate. They don't suck. They're mid. So the Seattle Seahawks are my football team. Different episode. Not in the intros. Okay. Sport number 2. Let's talk about the sport that's going on right now.
Okay.
Not one that you follow a ton. One that I have been to more, and it's hard to get to professional sports games in Alaska. So when you get to go, it's a really special experience. And I've been to probably I'll be coming up on like 100 games over the course of my life for my second sports team, Seattle Mariners. This team, being a fan of this team, feels like I'm in an abusive relationship. 47 years, I think it is now. They have never made a World Series. They've had some of the best baseball players of all time on their team: Ichiro Suzuki, Ken Griffey Jr., Felix Hernandez, Edgar Martinez. They have the AL tied for the AL record, I believe, or they hold the AL record and are tied for the MLB record in wins in a season with 116. They lost to the Yankees that year before making it to the World Series with Ichiro, Edgar Martinez, all those guys.
Yeah.
This year has been so your wife asked you why did they suck so bad about the Raiders. My wife, unfortunately, has spent the last 2 years watching a significant amount of Mariners games and going to her first professional baseball game and playing church league softball on our team, like starting to get into baseball because she played soccer growing up. We have had that conversation many times.
Yeah.
This season has been more frustrating than most, despite the fact that the Mariners are 5-5 in their last 10. They're still tied for first place in the American League West, but similar to the Seahawks, it feels like they have all the pieces that they need. Yeah. They have the best starting rotation in Major League Baseball, and they are still...
That's a hot take there, bud.
They do. Statistically, they have the best starting rotation of pitchers in Major League Baseball, but they are 28th in strikeouts. They at one point led the league in strikeouts. Now I believe they may have been surpassed. They lead the league in strikeouts. They're 28th in batting average. So not great.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult team to watch. But that is the team, I would say, when you recognize that, like, this is sports, I'm a fan. That was the first team that was like a national team that I was like, I am a fan of the Seattle Mariners. And it has been torture ever since. So baseball is not something that you watch, but part of this podcast is we said we're going to try to follow maybe some sports that we don't normally follow.
And maybe we can get some feedback from the fans. Like, what team would you like to see me follow?
Comment below.
Yeah.
What baseball team do you want to see Bryan follow? And we were talking about it before, maybe a city that you're already following.
Right. So I was looking at like LA. They don't have anything in Vegas
yet.
That's gonna. I mean, Vegas is gonna be like.
You said the Astros, capital. And I said I will not do this podcast if you start to follow the Houston Astros. So
the Astros.
Okay, my favorite sport, another one that I've talked to you about following for a long time.
Yes.
That I think this is the season that you're gonna get into it because of this podcast is the NHL.
Yeah.
I played hockey for my entire life. I work for the local junior hockey team. The NHL, I love going to NHL games. There's no in-arena experience like an NHL game. There's no playoff experience like an NHL game.
Functioning Happy Gilmore.
Yes, 100%. My hockey team since I was a little kid, because Seattle did not have a team at the time, is the Colorado Avalanche, a team that was bad for a long time when I was a kid. And as I got money to be able to travel, finally got good. My parents for my graduation sent me to 2 Colorado Avalanche games for my senior year. It was the year they had more losses than they had points in the standings. They got dead last, and since that year, they have not, that first time that I saw them live, they have not missed the playoffs. Won a Stanley Cup back in 2022. Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, Mikko Rantanen, other players.
Yeah.
Those are my big three. Those are who I have jerseys for. The Nate Dog, Nathan McKinnon, absolutely.
Don't do that.
Absolutely fabulous player to watch. That's his given nickname. You know.
By who?
By everyone. He's the Nate Dog.
That's awful.
It's
There's only one Nate Dog, bro.
No,
it's not him.
Nathan McKinnon.
No.
I don't make up the nicknames. That's just who it is.
Again?
No. Anyway. So I'm a big fan of the Colorado Avalanche. However, Seattle recently got a hockey team that's played 3 seasons now, and I am a Seattle sports fan. My wife is a Seattle sports fan, so she has a bunch of Kraken jerseys, and I have gotten a few as well. I'd say that that's the second hockey team. I watch a lot of hockey. That's the second team that I watch. We've tried to go down because the flights are cheap. We've tried to go down and catch at least one Kraken game the last couple of seasons, and we've been successful. Fabulous rink, great fans, sick jerseys. Matty Beniers, Brandon Tanev, Joey Decord as a goaltender.
Who any of those people?
It's all right. We'll figure it out. Also, the other side of my family is from Toronto, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are kind of like the hockey version of the Seattle Mariners. So I feel bad for them.
Hold on, though. We're getting too far in the weeds here because I was like under the impression you were a loyal fan.
I am.
So I
just watch other teams.
Okay.
So it's a hierarchy. The Avs are my team. I like the Kraken to do well because I love my wife, and we get to watch a lot of Kraken games. So I follow the Kraken. I root for the Kraken until they're playing the Avs, and then the rest of my family roots for the Kraken, and they're all dead to me. Yes, for 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, we usually go and we make an event of it at
I
tailgaters or something.
As a Raiders fan, I totally understand
right.
that system.
So you have chosen a hockey team.
Yeah.
And it's the team that I told you should have followed this year when they were in the playoffs.
Right. They didn't win, though.
They didn't win. But they're going to be good again this next year.
Yeah, Las Vegas.
The Vegas Golden Knights, who I have seen live in Vegas.
I mean, I don't love their name, but you know what? I'm going to roll with it.
Yeah. Sick jerseys, great players. Pietrangelo, Stone, Eichel, one of the best American hockey players going right now. Jack Eichel. So
I know it's going to be really interesting if NBA goes to Vegas and what that's going to do.
Yeah.
Because
just move the Lakers.
You can't. You cannot.
No, you can't. But I'm excited. I'm excited for you to maybe start following some hockey this year and seeing if we can, because I feel like once you get into the sport, learn the sport a little bit, that you're going to get into it. I think hockey has a lot of stuff that you'll really, really enjoy. But I think that for a lot of people, the reason why it's hard to get into hockey is there's all these rules that are maybe a little bit complex, and it's kind of like if you don't know the complexities of the game, if you don't know what you're watching for, it's kind of the same as soccer where you're like, okay, what's actually happening here? Like in a football game, you're going to see each team score multiple times. In a hockey game, sometimes you can have a 2-0 game, and it can be a fantastic game, but if you don't watch hockey regularly, that's not too interesting.
Yeah, and I think too, like the relatability is hard too, right? Like, because I didn't play hockey,
right?
I didn't play baseball, right? And so those why I really didn't follow those sports, and like basketball and football were my two like first loves of my life.
Let's get into basketball then, because the NBA I struggle to watch.
I don't want to throw your laptop across the.
But
you could have picked. There's only one other team that you could have picked that I would have hated more.
Golden State.
No, dude. Shout out Steph Curry. He's Splash Bros.
I like Steph Curry.
I mean, they're in our division, but they were bad for so long that like it was cool to be able to see them come back, especially when they were in Oakland and being able to watch them thrive.
Well, who's your basketball team?
I'll tell you who they're not. It's not stupid Celtics who just won championship number 18.
I don't want to be a Celtic. I would never be a Celtics fan.
Good.
How can you be a fan of a Boston sports franchise if you're not from
I don't know.
New England?
I don't know how you could be a fan of them anyways, because they're mean. They're just like what? Like
because they win,
dude.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to be mean to win.
Yeah, but their fans don't like.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, every sports franchise has mean fans and good fans. But I will say that I
don't know.
A New England sports
LA
fans are a different breed.
Pretty like timid. They're not like. I mean,
no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you just have one of the largest fan bases of all time. That must be really difficult for you.
I mean,
it must be really hard being a LA Lakers fan. That must be really tough. I'm so sorry.
It's so great because, especially being a Raiders fan, I think that's how I deal with it, right? Because I'm a Lakers fan, and so
being an Avs fan is how I cope with the Mariners. 100%.
Yeah, there's seasons where I remember the bubble season when they won the championship. Like I kicked back and didn't even follow that much because I knew they were going to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. They took the number 1 seed. I didn't know how they were going to perform in the bubble because that was like a whole different experience. But yeah, the Lakers are amazing. I mean, I don't know how so I started watching basketball. My brother.
This is your first sport that you got into.
Yeah. So my brother had me watch a Michael Jordan game, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I got like super into Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan was on his way out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I kept watching basketball, and I remember when I like truly fell in love with basketball, it was the Lakers versus the 76ers in the playoffs. And it was absolutely electric. Kobe and Shaq was like, they're a masterpiece. Like, greatest duo of all time, and I will fight you to the death for that title. Like, nobody.
You're saying better than best Lakers duo, or you're saying better than Jordan Pippen?
Way better than Jordan Pippen.
Okay.
Way better.
I've only watched The Last Dance, so I didn't watch them live. So I don't know how much my opinion is relevant.
I mean, so
in this
like, let's put the two against each other, right? Like, Shaq and Kobe would annihilate MJ.
I feel like you're wasting a whole nother episode about this debate. But so the Lakers.
So yeah,
Kobe Bryant is the player that made you fall in love with the Lakers.
And I was very close because Allen Iverson was on the Sixers at the time, and he was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you look, Allen Iverson crossed over Michael Jordan in his rookie season. Like, he is just like he is an insane athlete. But yeah, Kobe Bryant, Shaq, I was like obsessed. Everything, Kobe, Shaq, Lakers headbands. I even thought Rick Fox was cool, dude, just because he was like a pretty boy, but like really good at basketball. I was like, good for you, man.
I think the Lakers and the Avs are definitely the two teams out of this bunch. Maybe Vegas.
And they have 17 championships, so that's really cool.
Yeah, the two teams out of this bunch where it's not a long-suffering fan base, which is nice. It's nice to have at least one team I root for that isn't a long-suffering fan base, because the rest of the teams that I root for are.
But the Lakers have had a tough last 10 years. Ever since
having LeBron James is really difficult. Winning
Dude, it is. No, it is. LeBron is ruining the Lakers.
Okay, again.
1,000%.
I don't even want to get into it.
We can get into this
next
next episode, but LeBron is 1,000% ruining the Lakers.
Got to watch some more basketball so that I can have an informed opinion.
Dude, they drafted his son, who's not even NBA ready. Like,
okay, it's the introduction episode. Right. So the team that I'm gonna watch, I'm gonna try to
bumped your head, dude.
Pay attention to the NBA this year, and I would be a Seattle SuperSonics fan, which like
they gone.
There's only 30 teams in the NBA, and I feel like you got to do what hockey and football are doing. Like, give us 32, give us 4 divisions of 8. Anyway, I'm gonna follow the Nuggets.
I hate you
because the Colorado Avalanche are from Denver, and the Denver Nuggets are from Denver. And when I played NBA Jam on my phone, or I think you could get it on the DS maybe back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I always played as the Nuggets.
Do you know who
they were bad in that game?
Do you know who eliminated the Lakers last year?
The Nuggets. Yes. Yeah.
I was the biggest LeBron hater because LeBron was coming in to take Kobe's crown. And so then there was like all the talks about how LeBron's so much better than Kobe, So like I hated LeBron for years and years and years. It took me a whole season to process the fact that LeBron was on the Lakers, dude.
LeBron is a lot like Tom Brady to me, like fantastic athlete, but very easy to root against.
So easy.
Up until I'd say I was this exact same way with Tom Brady, and then they got to that Super Bowl with the Bucks, and I was like, I want the Bucks to win. Yeah. Let's see Brady just win more rings than any franchise.
When they get to the back end of their career, and you're like, all right, man, like you got to give them the flowers because they've done it.
Yeah, especially
LeBron to do it at his level for that long, and same with Tom Brady to be able to do it at that level for that long is unheard of in professional sports.
I was very impressed. LeBron's the only reason the USA beat South Sudan in the Olympic warm-ups. I don't know if you watched that game, but I was like, oh my gosh, thank goodness we have 40-something-year-old LeBron James out here who's somehow like showing up all of the rest of the superstars we have on Team USA.
Yeah, he said, hey,
we should never
Walker.
we should never have a game against South Sudan decided by one basket, even though South Sudan put together a really decent basketball team this year.
Yeah, still though. I mean, it's got a really, what was that? Was that 2000 early 2000 when USA lost. It's got that kind of vibe to it this year.
I don't like that. We'll see. Before we go, any other sports teams from not the major 4 North American sports that you follow?
No.
Any athletes?
No.
Not a golf guy. We figured that out.
Guy, no.
Watch that YouTube video.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I honestly though, like, I think I'm going to become a golf guy because it's so frustrating to me how easy golf looks, but doing is a whole nother story.
It's an insane sport.
It's insane. Like,
if you don't golf, you don't think you see like people golfing on TV and you're like, oh, yeah, it's golf.
Hit a ball.
Boring. It's easy. Yeah. Then you go out there and actually golf and you're like, how do these people do that? Watch golf on TV. There's never a shot that just like duffs off the end of a club and bounces 10 feet away.
Yeah.
And I've been golfing a lot for the last like 5 years. I'll still have those shots every now and again.
Yeah.
Like it is
it's the most aggravating sport I have ever participated
100%.
in. Maybe ping pong when you first start. That was pretty.
Oh man, Olympic ping pong has been so good the last couple of days.
Gosh,
There's been some insane Olympic ping pong
speaks to why we're doing a sports podcast. If you can watch Olympic ping pong, then you should have a sports podcast.
Well, and we got a lot of stuff planned. My House Fantasy Football is going to be something that we are going to be doing as an office that I'm super excited for.
Yeah, we'll have to do weekly reviews on that.
We're going to be bringing in a lot of staff members. We got a lot of football fans around the office. We got a Chiefs fan for Brian's foil. We got another Seahawks fan.
Christmas Day, Chief Nation. What's up?
We got a Bengals fan in the case management department.
Yeah.
So, a lot
I don't think she's been following since she moved up here, though.
I know. So this is our chance to get her back into it. Because you know what?
But she can't watch them anywhere.
Sports are fun. Sports are fun.
They're so fun.
And
anybody that doesn't think sports is fun, like, I don't understand you. There's something wrong with you.
Ozzy. We're getting Ozzy into sports. Ozzy is forced to watch a lot of Seattle Mariners games in this office.
We'll have Ozzy
over the past year.
Fully decked out in
San Diego Padres
hats, jerseys,
LA Chargers.
We'll get some bracelets.
Oh my gosh, I have so many Christmas ideas for Ozzy. Man, this is going to be so much fun. This is going to be so much fun because even when we're rooting against each other, sports is a great way to unite us. So love your neighbor, love your fellow sports fans, even if they are a Chiefs fan or an Astros fan. And we'll see you next time.
All right.
Take it to the house.
To the house.
To the house.